One of the major races heading into a runoff, the Republican nominee for governor. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette and Attorney General Alan Wilson are advancing since no candidate got more than 50% of the vote. Evette received about 29% of the vote and Wilson got about 26%. They're advancing over fellow Republican candidates Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Congressman Ralph Norman, and businessman Ron Reddy. Our Nate Stanley is joining us live tonight with the latest from both campaigns. And Nate, what is their focus now?
Well, both candidates will be trying to gain momentum from the results last night. And what they will also look to do is pick up on those voters who may have cast their ballots for someone that did not make the runoff. Take a look at our conversations. We sat down with both Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette and Attorney General Alan Wilson on Wednesday, just hours removed from punching their ticket to the Republican primary runoff for governor. We met Evette in Travelers Rest, where she's grown her business. She says that experience sets her apart.
Having a business person like President Trump to come in and solve real problems with new solutions is very beneficial. And so, again, I think that's the thing that separates us apart. You know, career politicians talk about what they want to do, and business people do what they must do.
Attorney General Alan Wilson serves as the state's highest law enforcement official.
I am promising you this. I have recovered billions of dollars for the state of South Carolina. I have overseen the prosecution of thousands of child predators, violent criminals, drug dealers, and corrupt officials. I have received the endorsement of 80% of the sheriffs in the state of South Carolina. I have fought the Biden and Obama administrations in hundreds of legal actions protecting your constitutional rights.
Evette has an official endorsement from President Donald Trump and Governor Henry McMaster.
South Carolina is Trump country, and people admire the president, and I think it's always nice to have his endorsement behind you. And so I'm going to work really hard to keep all the people that endorse me proud.
Wilson says that endorsement, which originally was announced along with an endorsement for Henry McMaster Jr. to be the lieutenant governor, was a political favor for the president.
When people look at the endorsements I've received, 80% of sheriffs in the state of South Carolina trusted one candidate for governor to protect their families, to protect your families. And they endorse me because of what I have been able to deliver as the Attorney General over the last 15 years.
We also asked both candidates what the #1 issue was facing South Carolinians. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette said that she wants to bring the state income tax down to 0%. She also touched on judicial reform. Attorney General Alan Wilson said affordability was the biggest concern that he's heard from voters. He says he wants to bring down the cost of living and make South Carolina more profitable. Nigel, back to you.
Thank you very much. Now taking